Alright, Jake, do the recap.
What?
Welcome back to Smooth Jazz.
Now, this is session 17 of Tomb of Annihilation.
Smooth Jazz.
Yeah,
Edition.
no.
This is a noir edition where everything's in
Okay,
black and
we're
white.
alright.
We have to find the murder. Eddie's been murdered. We have to figure out what happened.
No, he was not murdered.
No.
He
It
lived.
just becomes a noir fucking D&D.
Last session, we left behind, is it Camp Vengeance?
Yes.
Yeah, we left behind Camp Vengeance and also our good friend Soren, because she's staying behind to help with the sickly people there and help kind of reestablish some order in the camp, because she, Jesus Christ, man.
God damn. Jesus.
She wanted to try to reestablish some order in the camp because that's a good thing to do, and she thought it's what her grandpa would want her to do.
She's a paladin of Torm. It's what she
Yes.
should do.
Yes.
So we said our teary-eyed goodbyes and left her for the time being, and set off on our merry way towards the Wise Woman, or the Ziggurat, as Jen has been calling it between sessions.
Ziggurat.
So, whatever that means.
You've seen it.
It's a
big
holy
temple,
place.
a big
Yeah.
pyramid
It's a
temple
holy-
looking thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ziggurat.
Not to be confused with the big floating island called the Heart of Uktau. That's different.
Yeah.
That's a different ziggurat, I guess.
Yes.
It's not a
A
ziggurat.
different,
It makes more-
impressive
It makes
thing.
it makes more sense to be a ziggurat, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's floating. It's the heart of Utah.
Yes. Anyways, so yeah, we set off, and basically just kind of prepared for the end of the month and the full moon, because we have two lycanthropes in our party. Truck being a were-bear, and Azaka being a were-tiger.
With tiger.
So we set up camp and prepared as well as we could, but unfortunately our plan, as always, went awry at some point. And there was...
I wasn't there, so I couldn't fix things.
Yes, there was a brief scuffle in the camp between the party and the were people, and then when that became very apparent that it was not going to end well, Mana healed Roshia back up enough that we could run, and Eddie hid in a tree, and we basically ditched the two were people to duke it out amongst themselves, and came back in the morning when they were fine. And that's basically where we left off. Mana also had a meeting with some unknown and unnamed group of people, and during that meeting, over some sending stones, he learned that I can't remember her actual name off the top of my head, but someone named Foulfeather, which he knew to be the wizard who initially hired us to go on this mission, she had passed away. He has not yet shared this information with the rest of the group, but that is something that we as players have learned, at least. And yeah, we left off last session with Mana and Roshia returning to the camp, and preparing for more travel on towards the Ziggurat, now that the trials of trying not to get eaten by a bear or a tiger have been successfully navigated. And most importantly, Eddie was hanging in a tree upside down like a sloth for like probably a good 10 hours. And then at the end of that, just let go and splorched down into the mud, like a good 20-30 foot drop. And so he's not currently at full health, but that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, the lycanthropes in the group also are dealing with a level of exhaustion
Yes.
from the vigorous,
Thankfully, Eddie is immune to exhaustion, so.
yeah.
Did we get fully healed after the night?
Considering
Yeah, I think we got a long rest, right? Roshi and I did?
Yeah, Mana and Roshia are fine. So you managed to, I would presume, get back up. Yeah.
Double check that I want rest up there.
And Whew. Let's see. I believe that was pretty much it. Yeah. It's Artemis Kettlebrook is the name of your. I guess the person that hired you in the first place. Though, yeah, no one else knows this except Mana at this time. But yeah, she suspected she wouldn't live much longer, and she told you that she set things up with her assistant and whatnot, so you would get paid
Yes.
the rest of it when you return, if you do. If. Right. You had been... Yeah, you hadn't gotten out too far yet. It's a number of days by foot towards this ziggurat. Yeah, there's it's been a little bit of time, usual preparing and yeah, let's see.
Awesome.
Yeah, I guess that's I'm so just sad without Liam being here.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah, Truck is
Liam's not dead.
no.
Liam has died. I regret to inform our fan
No,
base.
he's
Liam has died.
he's got a lot of work to do this month
Yeah.
into the next month.
Yeah.
He's
So
rehearsing and whatnot for a play, so he just very, very busy.
Unfortunately, will not be
he's
with
a-
us for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a thespian motherfucker.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're making our way towards the ziggurat again.
Yeah.
Probably
you
a little
don't-
bit quietly and
The
sullenly
ziggurat.
after a night of fighting each other.
Yeah, Truck and Azaka are a little more quiet than usual. It's kind of what you've seen before with Truck,
Yeah.
because he did transform once before in front of you all. And
Yeah, he did.
he doesn't have his I guess adopted daughter for comfort. So
Yeah.
but he's
Don't make
making
me
do.
cry.
Yeah, I'm sad. Yeah, but you know you're supposed to be heading pretty much due west towards your destination, and
As we're walking, I'm gonna keep trying to impress Roshia with how, like, accurately and quickly I can toss my returning dagger and just, like, see what cool shit I can hit, what shots I can do. And just every time I do, I just kind of look back at her, and if I had eyebrows, I'd be like,
but you don't. You have a creepy.
But I
like,
don't, so I just kind of, like, look back at her, and just, like, kind of blankly, my eyes just kind of, like, flash a little bit.
Yeah, it's like, look what I'll fucking do to you.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of ignoring him the entire way.
Yeah. Let's see. You get out. The first day. You move a little slower than usual. It's not really because of the weather or the terrain so much that there are two people that are just tired, but they both wanted to keep going anyway, so you just kind of kept a slower pace for their sake. Yeah, you make camp that first night after the
Mana's
last of the
gonna
month.
try to keep morale up by singing old marching tunes.
Oh no.
Really, really old marching tunes.
Oh no.
Literally ancient marching tunes.
No. How does he know these? Like, why does he know these?
What do you mean, man?
I thought he wasn't a soldier.
What do you mean?
uh,
Yeah, he sings some old
the bots go
Marching
marching
tunes.
one by one.
I'm singing them all in Gnomish, though, so if you don't know Gnomish, then you don't know what I'm saying.
Uh,
I mean, you don't even have a character there at all, so...
I mean, I'm just speculating what it would sound
Yeah,
like.
I think Azaka kind of hums a little bit, but she doesn't really understand the words. Just something to keep her occupied. Yeah, that first night you make camp, and the Azaka and Truck they just immediately conk out. And it seems to be relatively safe. And unless anyone had anything they wanted to do during that night, we'll press on.
I do.
No, you don't.
Oh, I don't.
Not yet. They're not. No, I'll let you know.
Let's see.
I can't wait to act.
I know. I'll get there.
Yeah. No, I'm good.
All right. The second day, it's the as usual. There's usually rain, but it lightens up. You see some patches of sky during the day. Azaka and Truck seem fully energized now, so you press on a little quicker, take fewer breaks. Roshia.
Roshia,
You start to see signs of. Well, it feels almost like you're walking somewhere very familiar.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh boy.
There are. And Azaka starts to notice a little after you do, maybe an hour or so after that. Well, you see something that seems very familiar, like plants seem to have. You start seeing like ferns that you recognize from the Feywild, actually.
Oh.
Do you say anything? Or
Not where I thought this was going.
I've become far more vigilant and hold my bow and arrow ready.
Yeah.
You just don't say anything though. You just appear.
Hey, Roshia, man. What you doing there with your bow, buddy?
It feels like we just stepped into the Feywild.
So what now?
The Feywild.
The what? The what?
Some of the plants do look strange to me. Yeah, you notice that it's not entirely like the Feywild, but there are plants that just kind of look like they've been like transplanted, and it's just a little strange to you.
Can I make like a nature check or something to see what might be going on?
Yeah.
Nature check.
Feel
Or
free.
some kind of check?
A check.
Preferably intelligence
Make a nature
based.
check. Yeah, make a nature. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
I forgot all about nature.
Study the plants.
Arcana would be another option.
Can I do a check too?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm gonna study like the biology of the stuff, see if I can discern if we've like actually moved to a place with different flora and fauna than the area should have.
Well, Azaka's noticing it too, that there are just plants that don't seem to belong.
Okay.
It still seems
in that
like
case,
the jungle.
I'm absolutely gonna do
Does it feel like we stepped through?
It's just like
Does it feel similar to when I first came out of the Feywild?
no, you don't get that sense yet. It's just seeing some familiar plants.
I rolled the
spotted.
20.
14 for
What was that?
So
14 for Arcana.
I'm doing nature.
Yeah, Roshia
Oh,
can do nature.
it's not going very well.
Oh.
12.
Those plants.
Yeah, you're not really sure why they're there. If you duck, kind of squat down and look at the plant, see if it's someone like put it there. It looks like it's just growing there naturally, but it definitely doesn't seem like it belongs.
Un momento, por favor.
Speaking no maturity.
Yeah, por favor.
I forgot that that's like actually canon.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
a little different sometimes, but yeah, certain words that we, the players, would recognize are in their language.
I'm gonna cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
Wow,
So, yeah.
detect magic
I'm gonna...
in a minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna, like, hold out my palm and say an incantation and Gnomish. And to nobody else, it looks like anything's gonna be going on. But for me, I see, like, a faint glow kind of pulse out from the arcane focus in my palm and illuminate the area around me. And hopefully see some crazy shit with that.
You flashbang yourself.
Yeah.
Everything
Like
is
a quick
magic.
pulse
You are
of, like,
you are now blind.
Blue light that will hopefully any magical creature or object will be like coated in that glow.
Well, you get, glows from various characters that have magical
Yeah.
devices on them.
Filter out the noise.
Yeah, but you just kind of look away from, her comrades after a moment and study, what you were trying to discern, and some of the weird, of these fey plants glow a little bit. You can't discern a specific school of magic, and you don't really see anything else in the immediate area.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my primeval awareness to try to sense for Fae
Okay.
within a mile.
Within a mile. Yeah,
Are we in a forest right now, or is it
you're
still
in the jungle. You are in the jungle.
Welcome
It's
to the jungle.
like you haven't seen any trees that look more
Mm.
fey. It's just a few smaller, like mostly ferns. There's a few flowering
I just
bushes. Within a mile, you do sense some fey presence.
Uh-oh.
I'll let my companions know.
I'm going to say a quick prayer to Azriva, asking for wisdom and guidance.
Naturally, that's what it does.
And then I don't really know what else to do except to keep pushing forward
Yeah.
and figure out what this is.
It doesn't seem threatening, if that helps. It's just a little weird and out of place. Like they are literally like out of place. It's just
Well, this
Yeah.
is strange, but I mean, could be interesting. I say we press forward and see what this is.
I agree.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, you press on. It starts to grow dark. The rain that was just very light and spotty starts to get a little heavier. You decide to make camp again.
I'm gonna,
Right.
while we're walking, I'm gonna pass the staff of flowers to Azaka,
Yeah.
because we fought Fae before, and all of them you needed magic weapons to do pretty much anything to. So
Trixie Fae.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, unless you all have specific things you want to do that night, we will skip through to the next day. You don't notice anything. Actually, close to where you decide to make camp, you do see, like, you hear a little bit of a noise, and one of those little rabbits, the unicorn horns, the Almirage, that seem to just hang out and cholt. One kind of hops by, and it's got some very tiny little butterfly wings, and it's not trying to fly, but it just hops away, and it looks a little off. Yes.
This is like pyro vision from TF2.
Yeah, I'm going to expend 1 charge for my mask. And I'm going to cast Speak with Animals.
Oh.
Just hear like a rabbit go, "Fuck you!"
Hey, you! Yeah. I don't know if I want to say that out loud. There's
Yeah.
church people around.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna pull out like some of the stale rations that Nana gave me because she didn't realize that I don't eat.
Yeah.
No, she knew.
You've kept them this whole time?
Yeah.
Like, you didn't
Yeah.
feed them anyone, you just kind of,
Yeah.
They're his. Why would he do that?
I
Yeah.
mean,
And I'm gonna find like some like hardtack or something, and I like gonna like crumble it, and I'm gonna offer it towards this Almirage, and I'm gonna call out to it. Hello, little guy.
I'd like to
what is
imagine
the
a day
spell?
ration is just literally
Okay.
entirely
Speak
hardtack.
of Animals says, you gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration. The knowledge and awareness of many beasts is limited by their intelligence, but at minimum, beasts can give you information about nearby locations and monsters, including whatever they can perceive or have perceived within the past day. You might be able to persuade a beast to perform a small favor for you at the DM's discretion. So, as long as it is a beast, then it should be able to understand me.
yes. Okay. Yeah, it had hopped away a little bit, its little butterfly wings on its back.
It
which
has
is
wings?
unusual. It has tiny wings, and
What?
that's not, they don't usually do that.
Are we all awake at this point?
You're all
Looking
still
at
awake. You had just started to. You picked out a spot for camp, and you startled a little
Do
Almirage.
Yeah.
And yeah, Roshia definitely noticed this creature with something that shouldn't be on it. Yeah, you call out to it. What did you say again?
I just said hello and like was just trying to get its attention.
Yeah.
And I'm like offering
Right.
it some food.
Yeah, it hopped away initially when you all just made a bunch of noise starting to grab your equipment. And then it kind of ducks behind a bush. Another one of those bushes that's got flowers that look like came from the Feywild. A lot more vibrant than normal plants would be. And it kind of ducks back, kind of peeks out, sniffing with its little nose, twitching.
I have food for you. And I'll like put it on the ground and then just kind of like back away a little bit.
Yeah.
Does it do
Yeah,
anything?
it starts to hop towards you,
Okay.
and if no one makes any sudden loud movements, yeah, it'll creep up to the food.
Okay. I really should have thought more on what I was gonna say, but I knew that I wanted to ask it a question.
Yes.
Yeah, while it's like snatching at the food and whatnot, I'm gonna ask it where it came from.
It finishes nibbling on a little bit of the hardtack. From here.
Okay. I'm gonna ask it if it's noticed anything strange about the plants.
Oh.
Or like if anything's recently changed about the plants.
There was singing.
Singing?
Singing and shimmering in the sky.
And shimmering? Okay. In the sky. That's weird. Probably doesn't have a great concept of time.
It is a bunny rabbit. I mean,
Yeah, that's fair.
there's a picture of it. Remember?
Yes.
They're very cute.
I'm gonna ask it if it's passed any other animals recently? Like any other big animals recently? Like my friends, and I'm gonna like, you know, make a point to be like, humanoids. Make it obvious that I'm asking about humanoids at least.
Yes, many walk by. Scared of the singing.
Huh.
Yeah, and it's just, nibbling on little scraps of food you've thrown between
Okay.
communicating.
I'm gonna ask if they were bigger or smaller than Azaka.
Mm. Yes? No? But both? Yeah? It seems a little confused.
And I'm gonna ask it if it's had enough to. Actually, no.
How long does this spell last?
10 minutes.
Okay, yeah.
I'm only gonna ask for
I'm debating on if Truck would try to pet it.
He probably would.
100%.
What I didn't do was pull up. Yeah, it's still nibbling, and then yeah, Truck is creeping along, wanting to pet this giant bunny, and it freezes and stares at him, and then it turns tail and runs away. He got like the exact number of its passive perception.
Damn. Okay. That's fair. I got a number of answers from it. Yeah, I'll pass that information along to the rest of the party.
Yeah.
And
Everyone do. Roshia, I'd say do a nature check. I think that'll work for that.
Hmm.
And anyone else that may be really curious about something singing and shimmering in the sky, I'd say do, yeah, either nature or I probably be that.
Could I do religion?
Got it.
Right. I got 23.
I got an 8.
Yeah, I was trying to debate on what the nature of this would be. I almost love
Does it look
history.
similar to
It's
the portals I used to travel between the Feywild?
yes. It Roshia, you know, it sounds like either a portal or probably more likely a thinny, which is when there's like the space between barriers kind of gets torn and a thinny, and they are known to make a strange, terrible noise.
Is
I'll
this
explain
something that
this
Glenn
to
and
my
I would
party.
have talked about?
Yeah, it's a phenomenon that
Okay.
maybe not something most people have seen, but most people have heard about.
Well, given my very unique circumstances, it would interest us.
That's why I was thinking about maybe history for you. But yeah, Roshia for sure knows. She's encountered these. She knows what they are. Um,
Well,
it starts. It kind of bugs Mana. You feel like you should. You almost feel like you remember something like that, but you're not sure, and it's just something that you can't quite put your finger on.
okay.
Yeah, knowing that a thinny had occurred somewhere is the likely cause of the plants that are misplaced. It's a little strange, it's just spotty, but it happens.
Roshia,
Yes.
do you keep time where you're from?
As best as we can.
Cause it's time to rumble, baby.
When you came to this place from
Yeah.
wherever it is you came from, was there any discrepancy between the time that you left and the time that you arrived?
Was there?
Like, did he move time and space, or just
No.
space?
What was the question?
I asked Roshia if when she came to this plane from the Feywild,
Right.
if there was any discrepancy between the time it was when she left and the time it was when she got there, or if there would be any way to tell.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh boy, you gotta throw a question like this at me.
That's a question that. Yeah,
That's a question.
that's a question that's way above us.
I know
Yeah,
it can
I
happen.
mean-
As a player, I know it can happen, but
Yeah, Roshia, you probably aren't sure. If there's any kind of time slip, it's not drastic enough that you really noticed. I mean, you don't have, like, a watch on your wrist or anything.
She got the Ben 10 watch.
Aw. If it happened, I didn't notice.
Damn. Okay.
Although I do know it's possible for it to happen.
How do you know this?
My grandfather explained it.
What exactly did he say?
Traveling between realms can get a little funky when it comes to time.
Sounds fine to me.
You can
Sounds
travel.
about right.
sometimes when you're in the Feywild for like a day, a year can pass. Or if you're a year in the Feywild, a day can pass in the Mortal Realm. All prime material.
But
But I wouldn't notice if it happened to me.
do you know if there's any way to predict or chart those changes or even manipulate them somehow?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Unless you went back and forth.
No, I'm not aware of it being able to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You can only.
it's it's tricky because there are supposedly stable portals to certain places, but usually for the Feywild, it's a very chaotic place. So portals for that kind of randomly happen, and if people hear about it quick enough, they can get there. If that's something they need to do, like Eladrin's, for instance. Yeah.
Okay.
But using something like a thinny, they're a lot more. It's like getting hit with a tornado instead of like a hurricane where you have more of a warning for that. Tornado just kind of boom, it's there and it's gone.
Alright. Mana's gonna pull out his journal and start making notes and muttering to himself in Gnomish and all the typical mad scientist type shit.
Yeah. Another thing. Before you end up making camp and resting, thinnies can, for whatever reason, be very. They can draw people in. Sometimes they seem harmless. Sometimes it seems like something calls to you. So they're dangerous. So all of you probably are a little on edge with this new threat, I guess. On top of everything else. And I guess I can throw her input in. Azaka has never encountered one before.
I don't think I have.
Yeah, Mana is unsure. Yeah. You know, with all of that, you settle in for camp again, and the next day, you set off as usual.
Yes.
Except this time, it sounds very distant, but all of you, make a perception check, everyone.
Oh boy.
Cool. I need to do one
Okay.
too. Yeah, you can roll for
Oh,
truck.
sweet.
You want to roll for truck?
Cool. I rolled a 19. I don't know his bonuses.
I got 25 total.
Okay, Roshia did good.
Yeah, I
That's
rolled a
an 11
natural
for
20.
Mana.
What?
An 11 for Mana.
Ooh.
Mana
Okay.
doesn't
Oh, wow.
perceive shit.
I rolled for. I didn't even grab Saka. Shit.
Want me to roll for Azaka? I can do it.
I
No,
can
it's
do
okay.
it.
I just needed.
I'll
her stats.
happily make you not roll for Azaka.
Yeah, then she'll be use. Have some use and whatnot. Love your game.
Mm-hmm. Aggressive perception's good. Okay. What did you roll for truck?
19.
Cool. Got 21 then.
Oh
So,
yeah. Oh yeah.
pretty good. I'll just say she didn't do well. Yeah. Some of you, Roshia and Truck specifically, you start to hear a very distant, like it kind of sounds like chimes, like a tinkling noise in it, but it's like carried.
Oh
Mm.
fuck.
And as you keep progressing,
I put that holy wax in them ears, boy.
I'll allow the same perception check for this one. Yeah, Roshia sees a very slight, like, shimmer. It's kind of like looking at the press, except it's very faint.
I'll
And
stop them before we get to it.
yeah, it still looks like it's very far away. You can just barely see something off way in the distance over the canopy.
Mhm.
And
One moment. Yeah.
It fell out of your pocket at my house. Yep.
Okay. Sorry about that.
are we
You were good.
okay? Yeah, it's very distant. But there is some kind of distortion almost that can be seen far ahead.
I'll
Roshia
point
gets-
it out.
Yeah, Truck starts to. He sees it too, and he.
Oh, that's not good, eh?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well.
Looks kind of like the press.
Oh,
Do I feel anything in my
the
crystals?
jumbles.
There's
the
not a tingle
jumbling.
in my crystals. Okay.
No, maybe not. Maybe when you get closer, I don't know. But
Uh,
it's very far in the distance, miles away. Well, supposedly, it's a little
Well, that
hard
must
to
be
tell.
large.
and in charge.
Sergeant in charge. Yeah, you.
Oh fuck.
The further west you go, the noise gets louder, and it's
Wow.
yeah, it's like hundreds of birds chirping and singing, and but you know it's not birds. It's something else, and
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh. I mean, I guess we gotta check it out, right?
Whoa, 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 whoa,
I
whoa,
mean,
whoa.
it's between us and where we gotta go, yeah?
it seems
Yeah.
to be.
Well then.
Let's just take the rift in time
there's
and
no-
put it over there.
It's not really much of a choice.
No.
Mm-mm.
Onward, I guess.
I've seen this one.
Yeah, again, you're a little even more on edge. Doing,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm gonna summon Ukawala.
Yeah, Ukuwala hovers,
Where's my
trying to,
Ukawala?
you know,
Is it the same Ukawala?
it
Or
seems
is it
like
a different
there's
Ukawala every time?
a giant like hornet thing that gets summoned, and when it dies, its body is there. But you can only summon it once per day.
So
So,
is
I
it the
don't know.
same one?
Try to talk to it, I guess. See if it can tell you anything.
That'd be tight.
Well, yeah, I guess we just keep pushing towards it.
Let's just do a fight of Anna.
Yeah.
Not really much else we can do.
This is the 4th day since that since the full moon, and as you're walking, you know, making your way through the jungle, Azaka points out remnants of bits of stone, like a maybe it used to be a road at one point in the ground, and the sound of what's probably a thinny is getting louder and louder as you go. And about midday, it starts to irritate. It's just loud and high pitched enough that those that are made of flesh and blood, it starts to really just, it can cause headaches and it's just not comfortable. I'm going to have, let's see, Roshia, Osaka, and Truck. Those are the only organics right now, right? Yeah. Make a con save. Roshia, Truck, and Osaka.
Fucking
Go roll for
primates,
Truck.
dude.
Yeah, roll for Truck if you would. Oof.
Oh,
10.
I
Whatever 10 his thing is. It's
got a
con.
total of 15.
Okay.
Truck's probably fine. For 10. His con's got to be pretty good.
Yeah, I only got a +1 to my con saves.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
save too? Yeah, he should be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, Truck's fine. Roshia's fine. Sokka, you might not.
Sokka gets fucked because Jen rolled for
Don't have, like...
It's basically how it always happens.
her.
Yeah, Azaka is, not fine. She's starting to, like, stick her fingers in her ears and her eyes are watering. And she's visibly struggling.
Are you okay there, Zaka?
I can't stand the noise. It's in my head.
In my head. In my head.
I'll be alright. Let's keep going.
Are you sure, man?
Yes. Let's just keep going.
Alright, brother. Push on. Keep on keeping on.
Chug a lug.
Keep on trucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep on trucking. Yeah. You press forward. Azaka just seems to be getting increasingly, like, irritated and, you know, kind of grumpy, you know. It's like having she's got, like, a headache and
I'll sing some songs to lift the mood.
yeah, she tells you to stop.
The mood has decreased.
Just not helping. Yeah. Another few
tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
another few hours and the sound is even louder and it's just high pitched and it's sometimes it sounds like there's a voice almost. It's hard to
Fuck
say.
you.
Fuck you.
This is a profoundly religious experience for me.
Yeah, it's
Fuck you.
it's something. It's something. Yeah. All of a sudden, as you're walking, the tree's thin.
That's why it's a thinny.
And
Get out.
you can see, like, it looks like a wall of almost like water, but like very silvery and with a pearlescent kind of sheen. It really does look a lot like the press for those that can see it, or
Gotcha.
if you've ever seen it depicted in painting or illusions.
I'm gonna
Touch
pull
it.
out the.
And it's just, I will say, it looks like just a vast, like, wall.
I'm gonna pull out the glowing rock that I made in the Hag Caverns when we needed a light, and I'm gonna take that rock and I'm gonna throw it at the wall.
Oh my god!
God.
Fucking let a
It
rift
just-
in time erupt out.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really. You can kind of see a little bit of the jungle on the other side, but then you will realize it's more of like mirroring, except you're not reflected in it. Just the rest of the jungle.
I'm gonna command Ukawala to
No.
fly into the wall.
And
It's
let's
it's
see,
the
I'm
same
gonna
one,
say
it's just terrifying.
it's probably like, I don't know, 500 feet from you or so, I'd say.
That's a good distance to watch this bee fucking explode. I'm gonna
Yeah,
send
it's
it
just
into the wall.
it's like when a moth or a small insect goes into one of those
Yeah.
electrical little
Pop that
lamps.
bird feeding your bug zapper.
Just
Yeah, as you're commanding Ukuwala to fly towards this thing, I want everyone to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
And I'd say
yeah, because they're watching a fucking bug get murked.
Roshia has advantage. She's got elf stuff, and I'm
Oh.
she has
Does Eddie need
advantage.
to as well now that I put that clockwork brain in him?
I would say
Oh well, truck rolled another 19, so
Good thing I have advantage.
holy shit.
Oh,
Damn.
that was great.
I got. Turns out when I started playing
11.
Liam's character a little bit, I got his luck of the dice.
Wisdom, you said?
Yes, wisdom saving throw. Roshia made it, right? What did she get?
I got 11.
Ooh, with advantage?
I rolled a 2 and a 9.
Oh,
Truck had a 19.
what'd you get?
What?
What did Mana get?
Why is that important?
So, Truck did really good, which is a one I didn't want to do good, but that's okay.
Man, I got a 4.
Okay, yeah.
Wow.
Do I need to roll for Eddie or no?
Yeah, roll for him. Let's see.
Secret Eddie.
Sacred Tunnel. Oh, Eddie did pretty good. Eddie got 16.
Jesus.
Okay.
I believe. I
Let's see.
believe. Yes.
Don't have like saving throw stuff for that. Okay, well I guess I don't. Alright. Whew. Yeah, so Eddie did good. Truck did good. Roshia did bad. So did Azaka.
So did Mana.
Yeah.
We don't need to worry about mana.
I think we need to worry exclusively about mana.
Yeah,
Do we need to set up like
God,
a
mana,
field or...
Mana, Roshia, and Azaka.
Die.
Fuck.
I
Oh,
guess
bad.
you're all. You start to almost against your own will walk towards it, like you just feel this strong pull, and you probably
Oh, no.
get. Yeah, you just. And you. You're still thinking. You're still yourselves, but
Secret
you're just
tunnel.
your feet are going and you just can't seem to really communicate
No.
anything. You're just numbly walking towards it.
Wait, but I still have
So-
free will? Like, apart from having to walk towards it?
Yeah. Just
So we
you
can tell we're
trying
being
to
charmed.
you can't it seems like you can't seem to get any words out.
So
but
we
you don't
can't control
you
our
get,
bodies.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
And as you're
Truck's there.
Yeah, as you're going in truck, he just, hey, what are you doing, eh? You know, as he does, and starts to like, who else is there? Is it Eddie? Eddie just says bitchin'. I don't think he
Yeah,
really
he
understands what's
doesn't
going on
really.
yet. Man, I can't give him commands in
Okay.
this state. But
It's
truck,
all up the truck.
But truck, yeah.
Of course.
It's all up to try.
Yeah, Truck just kind of shakes his head and he starts grabbing you all back, and you're still kind of going a little bit, and then what would he do? Oh, yeah, he slaps Azaka,
Hey.
and she snaps out of it, and she sees the other two still kind of trying to go. Like a truck just grabbed onto like the back of their well, actually, he probably just grabbed Roshi's hair because that's the thing that was like
Ow.
kind of grabbing at her hair and grabbing Mana's robe and pulls him back, and you both get a good slap.
I mean,
Right.
I have multiple parts of my body in pain right now.
Oh.
Just got my hair pulled.
Yeah.
Giggity.
I mean, it wasn't hard. He was just kind of, you're not like running. You're just kind of gradually
Yeah.
walking, and you both snap out of it, and
Oh fuck. Oh.
Yo.
What?
That show
yeah.
was
And at
tight.
this point,
What
like
about the
the-
bee?
Oh yeah.
the bee flies into this wall, and it kind of vibrates really violently right before
Oh.
it gets through the wall, and then
It's like some Gary Mod shit.
it's just not there. I don't know what to tell you. It's gone.
Just fucking like
Did
when
it-
ragdoll physics fuck up and it's just like making a bunch of noise, like collision noises, just and it just no clips.
There was no noise, but well, I guess it's usual noises. So yeah, I guess its wings probably made some funny noises.
Well,
Being vibrated.
that was
Just
a
like
trick,
some
brother.
slapping.
Um,
Fucking the koala's gone.
yeah, like Truck, he stopped the rest of you, but he looks at he's looking at this big weird shimmering singing wall, and his eyes go really wide, and then he starts walking towards it.
Truck, no. Don't do it, Truck. I'm gonna try to grab him and stop him.
Yeah, he
He's fucking
he just
strong.
kind of like slaps you like away, or he tries to. He's just kind of like
Yeah.
he's going.
I'm gonna like try to stop him. I'm gonna grab him. What
Yeah,
do I need to?
yeah.
Contest
Go ahead
Does
and
it
make
work?
a.
strength.
Actually, hold up. I'm gonna
He's going.
walk up to him and I'm gonna wrap my arms around him. And as I do, I'm gonna cast Reduce on him.
Oh my god.
Shit.
Okay.
So
This-
his size is halved in all dimensions. His weight is reduced by 1/8, and he has disadvantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. So I'm gonna wrap my arms around him and cast Reduce, and then just try to pick him up and hold him in place because he's like 3.5 feet tall now.
He's about to be one slippery motherfucker though.
Okay. All right. Yeah. If
I assume it's still an athletics check for me.
yeah. Yeah, so it's gonna be a contested,
Yes.
I believe. So, Jeremy, if you'd like to roll
Oh yeah.
With disadvantage.
with disadvantage,
With
'Cause he's
disadvantage.
'cause
Already
he's
not looking
reduced.
great.
great.
Oh great, I rolled a 20 and a 6.
Aw.
Well, I rolled a 15. So,
But a 6 plus
I think he gets a +3 to strength or something. Or +4.
what?
I don't know how
Ooh,
strong
are
Truck
you
is.
crazy? He's got a plus. Well, that's a saving throw. Athletics, he's got a +7.
Oh, that's right.
well, if it's
Sorry,
contested,
I
it would be
didn't-
contested against the saving throw, wouldn't it?
Saving throw? Okay, +7.
Still +7, yeah.
So what did you roll again? The 6? so
6,
13?
so
And I got a 15.
Alright. Yeah, you barely, you managed to hold him. He's smaller
Tiny.
now.
He's very small.
Oh, he can't rage though. I thought
And-
he was a
He's not a barbarian.
No, he's a
but
fighter.
I know, he's a fighter.
He just kind of
Battle
goes
mastery.
limp a little bit for a minute in your arms,
Yeah.
and then he kind of explodes out of your hands and transforms into a werebear.
Oh!
Wait, a really
But I
big
need-
werebear or a really
But now I
small
gotta
werebear?
realize, like,
Is he still reduced?
that's the thing. I don't know. What is the spell? What is it?
Enlarge
Does it
slash
say
reduce.
anything about if someone transforms while you have this effect on them?
Why don't we
You cause
just
a
leave it up
creature or an
to the
object you can
DM?
see within range to grow larger or smaller for the duration. Choose either a creature or an object that is neither worn nor carried. If the target is... Oh, if it's unwilling, he needed to make a con saving throw.
Oh. I was gonna ask about that.
Yeah, my bad. So, to step
Well-
it back a little bit, before I even
Go back.
grappled him,
You can go back.
because we haven't really done anything since then, he needs to make a con save to try to
Alright.
shake off the effect of my reduce. So, I'm just
Make
hugging
a
him
what?
from behind right now.
Make a con. So can you roll? And make a
Constitution
con
saving
save?
throw.
Yeah, 13 on the roll.
Okay, so he got an 18.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
So he's
got
not
plus 5
reduced.
con.
I'm still gonna try to grapple him.
Yeah, and
With disadvantage, though, you rolled the 20. So that didn't work.
Yeah.
it's a good try. Yeah,
Well,
he still
Just punches you in the face.
ends up transforming into a werebear.
Jesus Christ.
Just 'cause
Does
you're
he have his
trying to-
werebear
Yeah.
thingy on?
what?
Amulet?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
the thing, though,
the
is he's
full moon-
already under the...
The
yeah.
full moon is
In
what
charge.
is so difficult with that. But I mean, go ahead, roll for me. Let's see if something happens with his ability to control himself.
Okay.
Roll with advantage.
I don't know. Okay. I don't know what he's rolling.
Wisdom.
That is whatever 11 plus his wisdom is.
Okay, so 10.
Oh.
Mm.
Well, it's good. I rolled 11 and a 10, so couldn't have been a worse advantage roll.
So...
Yes.
He just, like, turned into a bear as I'm trying to grab onto him.
Yes. He turned into a bear. Let's see what this is. Yeah, he starts to he's on all fours and he starts to run. And
Yeah.
did you want to try to hold on to him?
Yeah, I'm gonna
You're
hold on
like-
to, like, one of his hind legs. Like, I'm gonna wrap myself around it.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh no.
He starts running faster. You're gonna have to make another check for this. Ooh.
I'm just gonna look back at Ozaka and just kind of like, And yeah, I'm trying to hold on to his leg, trying to slow him down and stop him. But he's
Yeah.
my good buddy, my good friend Truck. And I rolled a 5. I'm not sure what I was trying to do.
Trying to hold on. I'd
Hang
say
on.
that's
Intelligence?
yeah.
Athletics. Yeah, definitely.
Athletics. It's athletics, I'd say.
Definitely
Oh, my
an
damn
check.
cheat sheet.
Well, that's gonna bring it up from a 5 to a strong 5.
Okay. Yeah, you lose your grip on him. He's starting to run. He's
Truck.
like kind of not
Truck,
probably
no.
not meaning to, but in running the motion he kicks you off of him and you go tumbling in the wet earth.
I was running.
And
Yeah,
Azaka
as-
starts to you kind of look back at her while you're trying to hold on, and she kind of shakes her head and transforms.
After they both just transformed, not too long ago.
As he's running away from me, I'm gonna pull out my dagger of returning, and I'm gonna try to toss it into his hamstring and stop him. Just
Okay.
trip him
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
So I
An
assume that's
attack
gonna be an
roll.
attack roll against Truck. This isn't
Truck's
gonna
fucking like
end
AC
well.
25 or whatever he has.
Oh, he's a werebear.
Yes.
It's
Oh, that's right. He has like nothing now.
it's like because I don't think his
Uh,
AC is higher when he's
19 to hit.
Definitely.
yeah that hits.
Okay. I'm not sure if it's gonna slow him down at all, but that's 6 damage.
You make a Constitution saving throw. Or something.
or I don't want to. I know it's not going to stop him, but I'd at least like to try to like slow him down or stumble him up until Azaka can get there and try to stop him.
Yeah. It sticks into his leg, and there's some blood. But it doesn't really seem to slow him down. He seems really determined.
Truck, no!
Truck, no!
Truck.
And Azaka transforms into a tiger and starts running towards him. He's boy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just get up and watch what happens, because there's not really much that I can do at this point. There's no way that I'm going to be able to stop him.
Yeah. Roshia, were you interested in doing anything for this, or
I was just watching.
just watching?
Damn.
Okay. I mean, she's like,
I'm a fucking party member.
Thanks,
what's she
Christian.
gonna do? Shoot him?
Yeah.
You want me to?
She probably is not happy after being like almost murdered by him. Climbing in
No.
that tree after. So she's like, fuck him. I don't know.
He's my good buddy.
Is he?
Mhm.
Roshia doesn't really know him as well. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know him very well.
just like he's going right. He's just going. That's what he's doing. Yeah, Azaka starts sprinting towards him, but he has quite the. I know he has quite the lead, and she starts picking up speed, but he's running, and it seems like at the same time, the wall seems to shift and move, like lurch forward, and there's like a loud. It almost sounds like screaming now, and everyone,
Jeez.
yeah, just all kind of
Watch
except for
truck
the
Die.
yeah. Well, you know,
meet his quote unquote demise.
he runs towards it, and then it seems like with the bee, he's like vibrating very violently. Still running, and
Just sounds like fucking.
and then he's gone. And then a few moments later, Azaka pauses in front of this wall and starts to. Seems like the wall is moving again, and she starts to run back towards everyone else.
Stop it, Micah.
Yeah.
Eddie, no. Okay, well, that's not good. It's like, did you say it was coming towards us? What?
It seemed like the wall had started to move again, and Azaka stopped and turned around and started heading back. You know, and it just seemed like and it made this terrible kind of echoing, almost like many voices screaming on top of like loud chimes and chirping birds. It's hard to describe.
Well, I'm gonna start slowly backing away.
Yeah, I'd say you're all probably trying to move back.
Yeah.
As it seems to be progressing, and things just. It's very strange to see, like, as it creeps forward, plants seem to just be popping up, just glowing bright colors. There's some mushrooms and other things that Roshia would recognize. It seems like the Feywild's kind of popping into existence as if it always been there, but at the same time, as the wall is rushing forward, like whole trees are like vibrating and shaking, and there's fruits and nuts and things, and some birds take off and before they just get swallowed up by this wall. But and then it stops.
What a trip, man.
And
Oh.
I think we should take a break. If
Okay.
that's okay with all of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we truck just disappeared in this thinny. Yeah, let's take a bathroom / snack drink break.
Sounds good.
I will be back. And through all that, that was my notes.
I'm back.
Boop.
Hello.
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 We're
Hello.
back.
Yeah, I was kind of around, but I was still kind of doing stuff, and
I was not.
yeah, he was away.
I was in the bathroom.
Is Jake here?
Jockey. Jockey Poo.
Jakey Poo? Maybe
Jakey
he's not.
Jakey. Haha, Jake, my man. What a butthole.
Okay.
I'm gonna tag him and call him a butt.
Ooh, I have a voice, but I don't know if I'll be able to do it. We'll see.
I'm back.
Oh, welcome back,
Welcome back.
Jake.
Welcome back, Yake.
Yake Soba. Jen stole my drink. Now she's hoarding it by her.
Yeah, it's happened like 5 or 6 times while I was there.
What? Oh,
Only 5 or 6?
I'm a thirsty girl
Mm-hmm.
in all the ways.
Okay.
Anyway,
Remember when I was there and he got a drink and you took it and drank all of it with him having taken one sip?
it was
Yeah,
like
my
the
milkshake.
milkshake.
You drank my entire milkshake.
God,
was
Jen is so
fine.
selfish. First the freaking the cheesecake.
Okay.
Then the milkshake.
Okay.
Now my Coca-Cola.
No. I did drink the rest of your Pepsi while you were gone. though.
Yeah, she drank the rest of my cherry Pepsi while I was gone today.
You bought a 2-liter. I'm like, this should last a while.
Yeah, I'll
Bought
just
it-
drink all of
Bought
it.
a 2-liter. I got one glass. Left my house for like 2 or 3 hours. Came home and she had drank it all.
Yeah, I drank
Yeah.
yours. I was busy. I needed the fuel for my art.
Needed
I
that
was doing.
dual fuel, bro.
Yeah.
Dual
man.
fuel.
Okay. I still don't feel ready, but let's go.
God, I remember when I used to say dual.
All right.
Dual
boys.
fuel was basically just ramen and Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
I see.
Not even a lie.
Oh. Okay. Well, we ready to continue?
You mean
Yeah.
we're ready to get
Yeah.
swallowed by this wall like
No,
Indiana
man.
Jones
No,
style?
don't worry. I got.
It's
So we got.
Correct me if
figured-
I'm wrong, but before the break we left off with like the image of us all sprinting away from this wall that's chasing us down
No,
Yeah.
it
and
stopped, I
warbling the
thought.
universe around us.
It did stop, but how long is it gonna stay stopped? You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
trust it.
Well, you better leave then.
And I want to throw my knife at it, but I'm kind of afraid that my knife will just fly through and I'll never get it back.
Guess I'll die.
Yeah.
I mean, I could remake it, but then I have to use another dagger, and it's like, ugh.
Spoilers. You might not.
Yeah, how you gonna
do
source a dagger?
that. You might not want to throw things you want in that thing. I'll just tell you that. Yeah.
Throw Eddie in it.
Throw-
I mean, I could make a new
Eddie.
one.
You just lost truck.
We
And I'm
just the
sorry.
sight of us just heave hoeing Eddie into this fucking
Yeah,
wall.
can I just like trip Azaka and finally be free of her?
She's saved her saving throws and stuff. I don't know what to tell you.
Truck was not having it.
No, he
Alright.
seemed like he'd seen something.
I'm gonna vote that we turn and try to like maybe walk around the giant death
Hmm.
wall.
How
Yeah.
long is this wall?
It just. It's hard to say. It just seems to keep going, and
It is a wall.
yeah. There's probably
Well-
a good 10 feet, like, of space from the wall where like everything's just weird and very brightly colored, and if there were trees or whatever, they've been like uprooted and swallowed up. So it's kind of like a bit of a clear,
No man's land.
yeah.
I'm gonna turn south. And
I have a question.
Yes.
Would I be able to face that to the other side of the wall?
That is a bad idea if I've ever heard one. That's gotta
Would I know if
you,
it
you
was
don't know.
possible?
has to be a place you can see. Do you technically
Yeah.
see it?
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
it looks like we can.
No,
You
it's
would-
more reflecting. You don't really see anything.
it would be a bad idea. Because
Well,
it's not just a wall, it's
yeah,
encasing
rip in-
something, and you
Yeah,
don't
but
it's a
know.
rip.
can he,
It's basically a rip in space.
If
Yeah, so
you.
can he just kill himself?
Well, you might not die. You don't really know. It looks like it's probably. Maybe. It seems like maybe it's Feywild on the other side, but you don't
Mhm.
know where, and you don't know if it'll still
When?
be there while you're going through it, or if it'll stop, and then you'll be stuck between dimensions entirely, and that's what's so dangerous.
Yeah.
You don't want to know what's in that space. It's where all the bad things come from.
Yeah, and the fact that it's moving and stuff is it's giving off a lot of alarm bells, and
Consumed.
it's not the kind that you typically would
Not a
use.
natural thinning.
It could be natural.
What the fuck is a natural thinny?
It's a crazy phenomenon that just happens.
They
Some-
don't usually move, right?
I don't think that's natural.
If they move, they're very unstable. You know that much.
Making sure to keep my distance and an eye on the wall, I'm gonna turn south and start following the wall south. See if I can try to find a way around it.
Yeah. It seems it's probably something that Azaka also would suggest. Like, let's try to go around it, because that's what you usually do with obstacles that you don't want to pass through, like a big canyon or a dangerous whatever. Just go around it.
Tear in space time.
Yeah. Just
You know,
Yeah.
the huge.
yeah. You start to go a little south.
Of the mouth.
South of the mouth, yeah. And as it gets dark, this thing is still just deafeningly loud now. And Azaka's still not dealing with the sound very well.
Yeah, I'll just turn my input volume down.
Yeah,
Yeah, can you do that?
sure. I don't know. Why not? As it gets late again, there's all of a sudden it sounds like there's an explosion.
Alright, I need to add some inventory.
And there's one last loud, strange, echoing, warbling kind of scream, and then the thinny's gone.
Alright.
And what you see left behind,
It's truck mangled
It-
body.
no, it's instead of what looks like a continuation of the jungle, like what you might expect, it just looks like a little patch of the Feywild. But there's no insects or birds or anything like that. There doesn't seem to be any creatures in that weird little pocket. And it's also dark, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's dark.
Well,
Yeah.
do we want to try to explore this area and see if anything... I think we should at least try to see if we can find Truck.
Sure.
Because it comes back.
Where did he go?
Y'all just get
He went
yeeted.
through the wall, man.
Probably in the Feywild.
Yeah, I'm gonna start walking around, calling Truck's name,
Yeah.
looking for tracks, trying to find my boy.
Hmm.
And I'll do that for... You said it's, like, getting dark?
Yeah, it's starting to get dark. It's pretty close to the time you'd
I'll-
normally make camp.
I'll
but-
tell Eddie to help set up camp, and I'll spend the next 2 hours scouring the area, trying to find any sign of truck or the stone that I threw,
Or an Ukawala.
or Koala. Try to find any remnant of anything that interacted with the wall that we saw.
The wall.
The thinny. Yeah, let's say anyone that's, scouting around the area a little bit, go ahead and make a perception check.
Not investigation.
What about Truck?
I would, you don't have to roll for Truck any longer. He is not, yeah, I mean, you could roll, but we'll see.
Can I roll for Truck to exist again?
You can roll, but I won't tell you what you're rolling for.
I mean, I
Okay.
am quite literally investigating.
Okay, since you're
well-
specifically trying to look for signs of Truck or Ukawala or something, go ahead. I'll let you do investigation.
Excellent. 24. I rolled a 17 plus 7.
Okay.
So, because intelligence.
Yes, I understand.
And I can see.
You find no trace of Truck
No.
in the area that you're searching. You do find more very strange plants. It's no longer jungle. Azaka's kind of going around with you.
I'm gonna collect samples of
Yeah.
the unfamiliar plant species as I find them.
Yeah.
Truck rolled an 18 for something. What it is, he doesn't know.
Okay.
For his existence check, he rolled an 18.
Well, I told you I'm not gonna clue you in on what that was for.
But we never find anything.
You don't
note.
find any evidence of Truck, unfortunately.
Do we find any evidence of like other animals or beings around in the area?
No,
Or-
and that's the thing. And Roshia, what is Roshia doing? Is she investigating at all? Is she looking around?
No, she's just making sure nothing approaches the camp.
Okay, so she's defending like the campsite.
Yeah.
Eddie's trying to teach her how to draw dicks.
I'm sorry, Roshia. Yeah, Azaka. I'd say Azaka.
Roshia just kind of steps on each of the dicks he draws.
Yeah, he just every time you do, he redraws it, looks at you, and says "bitchin'," and waits for you to like erase
Yeah.
it again. Yeah.
I'm getting ready to go.
What team play?
Love you. See you later.
Alrighty. Yeah. So Azaka's with me though.
Yeah, Azaka's with you. She's fascinated by this just transplanted chunk of Feywild. So she's kind of looking at the plants too, and as you're investigating and collecting samples, she's also doing the same. She's not like a shaman or anything, but she knows her own land, and it's just cool. So it's probably a way to kind of focus on something, because Truck.
Yeah.
I mean, she also was hoping to find some tracks or evidence of what happened to him. So it's just a no. It's a mix of stuff, I guess.
Okay.
Coping and yeah, and that's the thing. Like, there are plants, but there are no living creatures that you've been able to find. And it seems like there's also no dinosaurs around. It's possible the thinny scared the shit out of most things that were in the jungle, and they hid away from it.
Okay. Well, after a couple hours of that, I will head back to camp. And, I guess I'll begin resting.
Yeah. it seems that the night goes by, and towards the middle of the night, there seem to finally be a lot more normal jungle noises of insects and nightly creatures, and luckily no dinosaurs that want to eat you.
Okay.
Yeah, and the next morning dawns, and the rain, it's real heavy rain, not quite a storm, there's no lightning or thunder, but it's pouring rain, and visibility is reduced, and it's... But blessedly, it seems a little bit cooler than usual, so it's not... Other than being very wet, it's not too unpleasant. Maybe the jungle is crying for Truck.
Why you gotta do this?
But the chunk of Feywild, it seems like creatures have moved into it, but it doesn't seem to be any Fey creatures.
Okay.
You do notice a few Elmiraj hopping around with wings. I'll give you that.
Okay.
Yeah, as you're traveling, the land gets a lot more hilly. You're losing all of the... Well, are you still going south, or...
Well, now that Vinny's gone, I assume we'd keep going west.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't go south too far, maybe a mile.
Now that who's gone?
What?
What?
Now the Thinny. Okay,
Thinny.
I thought you said now that Vinny is gone. I was like, what?
No. She would not survive a day in the jungle.
No.
Yeah, so you decide to head west again. You're a little... Seems you're maybe a little off course. Yeah,
That's what the ranger's for.
Yeah. It's a little, you start to get in like a little bit hillier land, and it's raining so heavily that the going is a little slower than you'd all like. Once you pass through, it seems like the Feywild touched jungle is maybe a couple miles. You go through a couple miles of it before it finally diminishes, and you're back squarely in a normal Chilton jungle.
Okay.
And let's see, you start to... Well, actually, everyone make a perception check.
Oh boy.
Sweet. 25.
Okay.
5.
Wow.
Not so hot on the perception checks today.
I'm doing really good on mine.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so Mana just kind of, maybe he was sad. I don't know what he does. He's a robot.
Eddie got a 20.
Eddie got a 20, but I don't know if he'd understand, so...
Exactly. He can see shit, but he's too dumb to know what he's looking at.
Yeah, Roshia and Azaka, and Eddie, but he might not understand what the deal would even be. You notice, you hear something first. Kind of hard to make out. Not quite footsteps. It just... There's some kind of sound, but more importantly you see... you can see like a cave, and there are some what look like lights, like blue, some kind of blue glowing lights shifting back and forth in this cave. At least Azaka would point. Said, I don't... Blue lights, that's not normal.
Do they?
In the
Are
cave,
they
you see the
attached to
cave.
anything?
What? Oh,
Um,
cave. Yeah. What?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
was a little
weird,
spaced
brother.
out too.
It's you can see the glowing lights, and you can tell that it's some kind of um, large figure. You can't make out too many details.
So they're attached to something.
It's attached to something. You're guessing it's eyes.
Mm-hmm. I'll pull out my bow just in case.
Yeah. Roshia pulls out her bow.
Oh,
Azaka
no.
sees that, and she's readying her bow.
I pull out my dagger.
You got your dagger.
I
Let's see. You'll see where.
I will look at Eddie and Nomish say vigilance. And as I do, and when I do so, his eyes are also weirdly going to be turning blue, and his left hand erupts into blue fire.
Oh.
What?
Yeah. What? Blue fire.
What?
And
Fucking
now
fireman?
he is prepared to cast Firebolt on my command.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. This thing in the cave is looking at us, right?
It seems to be going back and forth. You can kind of tell the way the eyes are positioned that it's walking back and forth over and over again. Doesn't seem to stop and look at you, just back and forth.
I'm gonna try to stealth a little closer.
Roshi,
Get up and
what
look.
do your elvish eyes see?
I kind of put up my hand and start moving closer quietly.
Yeah, so you're like, I guess it's like 90 feet from this cave. Yeah, there's trees, and you're in the thick of the jungle.
Do I need a stealth check?
Yes.
I'm gonna stealth with him.
Yeah.
Or with her, I should say. And Eddie is coming with.
Yeah.
Zaka can stay behind if she wants.
Zaka will like stealth like the opposite direction if you're approaching closer,
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
kind of off to the side.
I got 25.
And I guess Jeremy, you can roll perception.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, you got your stuff ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is a non-natural 20
Even if-
for mana.
Oh, God. Even if I rolled 20, I wouldn't beat Jake's roll. 16 perception.
So you got 16. So
And Eddie got a 19.
okay.
I don't
Damn.
think any of us got below 16.
Yeah, yeah. Azaka did pretty good too. So
I mean,
yeah, you all managed to creep closer. How close are you guys getting? Like, what's everyone?
Close enough to be able to make out what he is.
Okay. Maybe you get like Go for 30 feet or your normal
Okay.
speed. If
Yeah.
go up to
My
that,
walking
and I'd
speed
say
is 30 feet.
yeah, you can move. I figure you're somewhere over here, so you can move about 30 feet. If
This is
5, 10, 15,
okay.
20, 25, 30.
yeah.
Figured we'd move the direction that we had the most space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I drew a little squiggle.
Oh,
thing,
okay, I
like,
see.
say this little indent is like the cave
It's
entrance.
a ram
Oh.
named Gilderoy.
You know.
oh, that's the cave. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that looks
I
like
thought.
a butt.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, tight.
Yeah, my bad. Did I? Let's see.
Oh boy.
I thought I made it. Did I not? I thought I made a figurine, and I can't find it now.
You didn't make the figure for it?
I thought
Can
I
I
did.
can I make one?
I made one with no background, but oh well.
Oh. Okay. I mean, it doesn't bother me either way.
Damn it! I actually made one and everything. I'll post the image like the other one. Yeah, you approach closer and it's still moving back and forth. And you notice that the reason why you couldn't really make out too much of it is because it's like going back and forth in this like rut that it seems to have made from pacing back and forth for who knows how long. It looks made of metal. It's covered in dirt and moss and some vines. And it's got a crystal in its forehead.
How many arms does it have?
It's 2 arms.
What
Rodarian
kind
or
of fucking
Winkovian?
question?
It's
Give me an arm count quick.
Rodarian or Winkovian?
it's
Don't
you
answer that.
can't quite tell from here. Yeah,
It looks
you-
like mana though, right?
It
Or
kind
in a
of
similar
it's-
type of being.
Yeah, I mean the design looks very different from what you can make out, and it's very dirty.
Mhm.
But it kind
Rodarian
of
or
looks like
Winkovian?
a mechanical person of some
So
sort.
it just looks like the same type of being.
Yeah.
I'll lean closer to mana and quietly ask, what should we do?
Yeah, as soon as it becomes obvious what we're looking at, Mana's eyes turn a bright blue like Eddie's.
Yeah, I posted a picture of him. I swear I made the figurine, but it didn't.
Sugar.
Oh, you put color on him.
A little bit. He's got blue. Yeah. There are other like orbs that are kind of glowing dimly, but it's the eyes that are glowing really bright, and it's still just going back and forth.
Winkovian or Rodarian?
I'm the character. I don't even know what the fuck that means.
I do.
I do.
There's
too.
no
You
way
have
that
to
I
ask
wouldn't
him.
be able to know.
I don't remember
You
which
sure?
one I am.
What if it's got both parts? What if it's a mishmash of stuff? Oh, okay. The head looks like it's probably Rodarian. But you can't see an insignia for sure on it. Not from... There's, it's covered in a bunch of stuff.
You can't really tell how tall it is either.
Yeah, it's standing in this
It's
row.
in a pit.
It's very
Like knee-high
bulky.
pit.
Yeah, it's in this pit. It's walking back and forth, and there's stuff behind it. It kind of looks like some kind of debris, maybe like remains of some kind of structure in the cave. There are skeletons. Oh, are there? No, there's not. The area immediately in front of the cave also looks like it's been picked clean, like something's cleaned it. Kept plants and stuff from growing. Just another little fan shape about 5
I'm
feet out.
going to tell Eddie and Nomish to protect Roshia. I'm going to tell Roshia to stay hidden. And then I'm going to stand up into the eyeline of whoever this person is.
Did you tell Azaka to do
As-
anything?
I would have told them both to stay down.
As he
And now to
stands
wait.
up, I'm gonna start moving a little farther away from him so I'm not in direct line of sight.
Okay. Azaka kind of just is looking really curiously. She kind of goes against your judgment a little bit and starts peeking over.
I put my hand on her shoulder
No,
and put a gentle pressure downwards and just stare her in the eyes.
yeah, she'll stare back, like looking very confused, but
I
she
will
doesn't
shake
speak.
my head no slowly.
Yeah, she doesn't speak.
And then I will stand up into the eye line of this thing and see if it reacts.
Yeah. I would say make another perception check, Jeremy.
Is he trying? You're trying me to get me noticed, right? Or trying to get noticed?
Yeah,
What's going on?
he's very visible in your direct line of sight. Should you choose to?
Okay. Well,
And these
yes.
are 5 feet, so
Yes.
if you have a perimeter that you
Is
kind
it
of
dark?
And
it's
I keep in mind I have my wasp mask on, my robe. I'm holding my knife and I'm crouched, or not crouched, but I'm definitely in kind of a defensive position.
yeah. He's wearing. You're wearing the mask. You said.
Yes, I'm wearing
Yeah,
the mask
he's-
and the robe. There is like
You
a
can see
glow
the
coming out
hands.
from the eyes because there's crystals in the mask that kind of illuminate that. But yeah,
Perfect. Okay, I guess I'll roll.
yes, and my hands are good. I think I'm very obviously warforged, but still kind of strange looking even for one.
Well, I rolled the same as my passive, which is 13.
Well, I would say you notice then. You
Okay.
notice this possible threat standing here in front of your home that you're supposed to be defending from anyone.
Okay.
Okay. Do you make any sort of motion or
Yeah.
response when you see me?
Oh yeah. As soon as I see you, you don't see me anymore.
Okay.
And then I guess all you hear is like a loud voice, like identify.
That's gonna be great. Oh boy. Yeah. I will speak up a little bit. And call out WX1337. What is your designation?
Here. Yeah, it's curious.
Okay. You just hear a identify.
Hmm.
Azaka's just like, ready to shoot her bow,
Yeah.
just crouched there.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is all you guys.
I'll again
Friend or
repeat
foe?
WX1337. And then I'll say that I'm let's see. Yeah, I'll just repeat my designation, WX1337.
Oh, oops! I went away from my character sheet. Creations, my characters. View. There we go. Yeah, you just hear like a oh, excuse me. Oh, and someone sent me. Okay. It's just like someone you hear. It almost sounds like someone coughing. And you hear someone yell, like in the voice that I'm saying. You say, "Friend or foe?"
Um, I'm no one's foe unless they give me reason to be.
Why are you here?
I'm on a mission that.
Come closer into the
across.
light so I can see you.
I'm going to turn my left hand palm upward and cast dancing lights and throw 3 blue orbs of light up into the air above my head.
Okay. Does it cast like a shadow on stuff at all, or
How wide?
do I notice the
How much
other
light
people
does
with
it
you?
give off?
I'd be careful to keep it localized, like, above my head.
Okay.
It's it's not like it's.
And they're just kind of like slowly revolving around
It's
each other.
still right. It's still like pouring down pretty good rain. So
Do I know what
not...
he is, Miss DM?
And when I throw the lights up, I'll also remove my mask.
Oh, if he removes his mask, you immediately recognize a Linkovian model. And seeing the mage lights, he's a mage class.
No tricks, kid. I don't need any of this right now. What do you want?
Just passing through. How long have you been here?
Jen, can you tell me that real quick in chat?
Oh, okay.
Give me almost exact.
Okay.
Just write it up.
Let's see. Whew.
Sorry to put that on Jen.
I'm trying to say how exact he would be.
Yeah.
I think for
It doesn't got to be crazy, Jen. Okay. Okay. Current runtime 967 years, 45 days, 36 hours, 2 minutes, or whatever. He basically says that. Whatever, just down to like the quadrisecond.
Yeah.
Just a string of numbers, and you're like, what? But you heard. Oh God, how far? Yeah, you heard at least 900.
Yeah.
7 years.
Okay.
Who?
That much you gleaned, considering we're that far apart.
If I approach
it's not
you,
that bad. It's only 60.
If I approach you, do I have your word that you will speak peaceably?
You hear some more noise and almost like metal hitting metal. And you're like, I'm not gonna shoot unless you do.
Here, this is not mine, but
Whoa,
we'll throw.
what's going on?
Where did it go?
That started lagging.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
something
there we go.
for. This is not the art, but this is something for someone else's game.
Oh, that's tight.
Yeah, it's not. But there
It's
you go.
fucking
That's
tight
thing.
though. I am
awesome.
Crystal.
Yeah, Otis.
No, it's
Yeah. I will, keeping the lights above my head, approach,
Yeah, as soon as you start walking
Ooh.
forward, you see whatever it me. I'm in like one knee. I'm basically leaned around the corner with the crossbow pointed straight at you. And now my eyes are like they seem smaller almost.
And I've
Looks
sheathed
like
my
something's.
dagger.
It looks like something's over my face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon
Like
as
I
you
have
said
something
that
over
you'd
my
be
eyes.
willing to speak peaceably, I sheathed my dagger.
Okay.
Yeah.
The crossbow doesn't go away, but it points by your feet. It's
Yeah.
not pointed directly at you, but it is ready.
Yeah.
Getting that close, Mana, you notice that there's like, it looks like a pile of rags, and you can make out part of like a skull. Like there's some remains like behind this person, this metal man.
I'll gesture towards them and ask, who is that?
Don't worry about that.
Fair enough.
And then as he says that, no, he wouldn't say that. Yeah, he just don't worry about that right now.
How did you get here?
Sorry.
How did you get here?
That
Good
is
question.
a long story, but the gist of it is I walked.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you mean how did I get to Cholder? How did I get to this spot specifically? That's important.
What happened? What is it? What's did they like? What did they come for you? What's going on?
Did who come for me? What?
You know all the people. Hello? Are you there?
I don't know what you're talking about. What people?
The dark skinned ones. The ones with all the dreadlocks and I'm looking around now like
The Choltons?
Yeah.
the what?
The Choltons?
What is that?
The local people here.
What about them? Did they send you?
No.
Look, if they sent you,
Whoa.
you have to tell me.
Listen, dude, I'm not a cop. Nobody sent me to you. My mission is unrelated to you. I didn't even know you were here. But obviously your presence is somewhat of an anomaly to me, as I assume mine is to you. How did you get here?
I've been here.
Well, I understand that, but when you first got here, how did you get here? To tell you truthfully, I don't know how I came to be in this time or place. And
he when you start talking, like as soon as you start talking, he coughs. He coughs pretty violently, and then he just sort of looks at you blankly. Objective classified.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Jen, but it is strange to hear a Warforged cough, is it not?
Yes.
Maybe he's got a virus. He looks really old.
Whatever the equivalent of a Warforged cough is, it just sounds like gears or metal or mithril grinding.
They don't have
Like a buzz.
ears.
I don't need to know what your mission is, or even your objective. I'm only curious as to how you came to be at this location. The method of travel, most specifically, where you came from. I'm not interested in your mission. I'm more interested in the circumstances surrounding your presence in this place and time.
Well, I probably got here the same you got here, but
I doubt that.
my masters brought me here.
Your masters?
When you say that, he sort of stiffens up.
So we have Hagrid the robot.
Yes, my current objective. Protect.
Protect this place, I assume.
He looks
don't
at you
have to
one more
answer
time.
that.
I look at you one more time, and
I understand being under orders. You don't have to answer that.
I stand up fully, and lower my crossbow and just gesture him to come inside.
Azaka's gonna peek up again. She's still got her bow and arrow, but it's not still kind of pointed that direction. But
I hope you'll excuse the precautions that I took, but I have companions with me.
I'll get reverse of what I just did. Back down on my knee, pointing at my crossbow.
oh, yeah.
I told them to stay back while I spoke to you. They're under my direct order.
How many are there? He cuts you off.
They're under my direct order to not fire on you until I give the word, which I have no intention of doing. I'm hoping that we can speak peaceably. And to answer your inquiry, there are 3.
All right.
3 others besides myself.
He stands back up and gestures for you to come inside a little bit more quickly.
Would you like me to come alone, or would you like them to come with me?
Alone.
If you'll give me just one moment, and I will turn around and whistle, and Eddie is going to immediately stand up and come towards me. And when he does, or when he gets to me, I'm going to say something to him in Gnomish, and his hand's going to stop being on fire.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to tell him Sentry Mode. And
what did he say in Gnomish?
Yeah, he knows Gnomish.
Oh boy, that's a good question. Let's see. I probably just told him at ease. And his hand went off. And then told him Sentry, and he starts to establish a perimeter. And then I'm going to call out to Roshia. And I'm going to walk back towards you. I'm not gonna. I don't know where you're at, so I'm just gonna walk back to where I was and wait for you to come to me.
Just Roshia?
Actually, no, I won't wait for you to come to me. I'll walk out a little ways and I'll call out and I'll say to to keep a perimeter, and I'll be back. And then, without waiting for any sort of response, I will turn back and start walking towards the cave.
Oh boy. Yeah. There is the remains you could see. You can see them more clearly now, and it's a very small body. And probably gnomish, maybe halfling, but you kind of assume if it's a small body, it's probably gnomish because of the nature of this person.
Okay. Now that I can see him in better light, can I ascertain whether this person is a model from my time or a copycat? Because he's not old enough to, or he hasn't been stationed here long enough to have been here from the time that I was here, that I was at, and kicking in. But does he look old enough to be?
He looks like a very old model, like older than. I mean, you've seen those models around.
Yeah.
Something similar on your side, but they were like the old ones that are ready to be decommissioned and.
Okay.
Yeah, there's yeah, you can see that he's Rodarian for sure.
Okay.
And old, one of the bigger brute kind of models.
Rodarian for sure.
But Rodarian. But with some weird tweaks that you're not really sure, it doesn't seem to be. It just seems like he's been fiddled with, and parts of him just look very different from what you would expect. And there's he is like dirty and covered in some stuff. But yeah, from what you can see, I guess checking him out. But
okay.
you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna look around the room now, the cave that we're in, and see is there anything else to find except for this body that's laying on the ground. Is there anything of note in there?
That's a good
Well, you
question.
notice the bunch of the place I've been walking back and forth and
Yeah.
pacing. And you notice there's probably, if you were to notice, or if you, depending on how hard you looked at the body, you would see a couple of what I guess were arrows at one point. They just sort of looked like a couple of like crudely shaved rocks and
Yeah.
a stick, whatever,
Yeah,
off to the side.
I'll kneel down a few feet away from the remains and look at them.
He steps between you and the remains.
Yeah, I won't try to get past him, but I'll just kind of look through his legs.
Yeah, I mean it looks like the body's laying where it fell, and even though it's an old body that's just skeleton by now, a little bit goopy because this is a very wet environment. It's not preserved super well.
Probably lots of mold and
But-
stuff growing on the bones.
There is
it's
there's a little like in the body's rib cage. There's a little like piece of obsidian. Heart would be small.
One of your masters, I presume. And yeah, I'll stand back up.
yeah, they're I mean, I don't want to presume too much, but I would assume there are books written in Gnomish. They're they're in really bad shape.
They're 1,000 years old and been sitting in a
They're, like,
rainforest.
Yeah. There's a few little broken little clockwork toys. They're rusted to nothing, and yeah, just.
Are you?
What?
Sorry, it's been a while. I haven't really seen anyone. Are you? Are you like backup or what? Why are you here? I don't understand. Where's your battle master?
Been dead for a long time.
Yeah, you just do stuff without him? I don't understand.
You... Are you able to tell me what your last orders were? Or is that classified?
He sort of jitters again. And he just sort of stands up straight almost to it and goes, Designation RCL-024 Defender class. Codename Castle.
Okay. Well, listen, Castle. My name is Mana. And I don't know. Well, you know the war ended.
He just sort of looks at you.
It ended
War?
long before you were stationed here.
War? What war? I'm sorry.
The
I don't
war.
know. Which the old war?
The war between the Winkovians and the Radarians. Flattened the Suadi forests.
Oh, I don't know too much about that. I mean, I was in it. I mean, so were you, right? But I've been here. Um, my current objective is to defend, well, the gnome by the name of Arturo Quickfix.
I point at the ground behind you.
Yeah, poor
That one?
Arturo.
And then my secondary objective was to defend his family. And then, yeah, you point at the ground, and he sort of just like looks.
That one?
Uh,
That gnome?
Secondary objective failed. Primary objective status ongoing.
Listen, bud. I don't know how to tell you this, but your gnome friend, he's gone. He's not coming back. Even if I had some sort of resurrection power or knew someone who did, the souls here, you can't bring them back.
Huh. Well, I mean, what am I supposed to do? I had an objective and an order. I not like I do nothing.
Well, your mission's complete, for better or for worse, I'd say. Whether or not you agree with me is up to you.
So his little, it looks like a visor. It flips up, and you see his eyes. They sort of like glow bright blue. And he goes,
Yeah, Mana's actually
Objective
gone back
complete.
to like the dull green that he normally has.
yeah, they just sort of,
Yeah.
they go to the bright blue. Objective complete. Awaiting new orders.
You're inside the cave, yes, Mana?
Yes.
Alright. Roshia, I guess Eddie and Azaka, make perception checks, please.
I would like to point out that I went into a tree like 15 feet outside the cave after they went in.
Okay. Are you still in that position, or are you closer?
Yeah, I'm watching the area from that position.
Okay. Fucking
14.
Oh, there it is. Okay, I knew it was higher. So, oh, Taka got the same thing. What did Eddie get?
I'm sorry, what was he needing to do?
Perception.
Pretty good. That will be a 18.
Oh, nice.
Eddie always rolls really well, unless he's attacking.
Yeah. Yeah. Those of you outside of the cave, you hear a commotion somewhere in the jungle, and there's people shouting and the screech of some sort of dinosaur. It's somewhat a familiar sound by now. And let's see. Yeah, Roshia, from your perch up in the trees, you see, it looks like, you know, those velociraptors from Jurassic Park. They have a different name, but I can't think of it right now. So there's Deinonychus or something like that. You see this small, fierce dinosaur chasing some people. And as they get closer, Eddie sees it too. Yeah, they're running in this direction. They seem to be fleeing more than coming towards you.
He's on sentry mode.
Yes.
That means that if he sees anything that is out of the ordinary or potentially dangerous or approaching where I told him to have a perimeter, he's supposed to immediately come and get me.
Yeah. So, yeah, there are people, 5 people running. There's a screeching dinosaur running, chasing them, and...
Are they wearing uniforms? Or in matching stuff?
It looks like there's a couple people that are wearing something similar to what Azaka would be wearing. They look like Choltons, and then there's like a half orc in.
So they look like adventurers?
Yeah, they look like adventurers. Looks like there's a few people in like there's a person in robes and someone else some kind of gear. You can notable is a staff in one of the smaller people's hands. And as they get close, there's one of the people in robes. He looks like a dark elf. He turns around and shoots some fire at this dinosaur, and that's what's happening as they approach about 30 feet from you now.
Castle, you're combat equipped, yes?
Yes.
Excellent. Don't let me die. And with that,
What'd you say? You said don't let me die?
Yeah. And with that, I'm gonna hop down to the cave and prepare to fuck up a dinosaur, I guess.
As you leave, I'm just like looking down, like blank, like between you and like this like gnome. It's like
Said you were awaiting new orders.
Which direction are they coming from?
Yeah, as then as you, I mean, it was kind of like a cave-ish kind of thing, but yeah, you walk out, and as you walk out behind you, I like tear a chunk off of the entrance of whatever this was, just done scoff it off.
What's this, Jen?
What? What's what?
What's
all this? What's all this,
What?
then?
What's this?
all this?
You know.
What's this?
Hey, look, it's the old Azaka standing.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's the fucking Warden of Peace.
What? No, it's not. Don't worry about it.
She has, like, in Ghostbusters fashion, Mana's face
There's...
on her chest with, like, a cancel sign on it.
What do you mean? Yeah, there's people running. There's dinosaur.
Oh,
one of them
great.
shot fire. A little closer than I would. Yeah.
Excellent.
Kind of.
Jennifer Fizzlebrass.
Don't you worry about my girl
Warden.
Jennifer.
It says Warden of Peace under it.
Don't
Literally
worry
says
about
Warden
that.
of Peace. Literally says it. Great. Hydero.
It's the little velociraptor thing.
It's a Hydrosaurus.
It's not.
It
It's
shoots
not.
hydrogen.
No.
Shoots compressed hydrogen and ignites it with its tongue.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about this.
Not a war in the peace.
Where's my paste? Copy. Oh, paste there. Okay. Yeah. They're running. Yeah, there were 5 people on a dinosaur. So, yeah, Eddie was running to alert Nana.
And
Azaka is now very concerned, now turning her bow in the direction of these people and this dinosaur.
I'm gonna call out and yell vigilance and gnomish to Eddie yet again, put him back into combat mode.
When Castle stepped out,
Mm-hmm.
did he see Azaka?
Yeah, Azaka kind of popped out a little bit more to get a good angle at he's approaching people that kind of look like they're in trouble a little bit. I mean, one of them just threw fire at one, at the dinosaur, but these people are actively running, and one of them, the dark elf, seems to be limping, and yeah.
Yeah, so when I come out and see Azaka, immediately raise my crossbow and point it at her.
Yeah.
Hey, whoa!
Go, hey!
She's with me, man. She's one of my 3
what?
companions.
What's going on?
Get the dinosaur!
What?
Yeah, you're yelling. These people are approaching ever closer.
The dinosaur!
Must kill Azaka.
Yeah, Azaka's like...
I'm gonna cast Arcane Weapon, and my dagger is gonna erupt in blue fire, and then I'm gonna throw it at the dinosaur.
Okay, let's roll initiative to keep track of this stuff now. And if someone could...
Do I get a surprise round since I said it first?
Cool. What's my initiative? Cool, I rolled a non-natural
gonna-
20.
I think
That's
there's a...
I got a 21.
Nice.
I don't think it's going to be surprised.
I actually have a plus
Yeah,
to
no,
it.
I was just-
Actually already actively...
Soren has like a -2 initiative.
Okay, so...
I'll have to roll for all these assholes, too.
I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark on the dinosaur when I get a chance.
That's a
Okay,
good
well, you can do that on your turn, Jake.
Well, he'll probably go first.
Alright.
Considering he rolled like a 21 on his thing.
Okay, so Zaka has a 15. I'm gonna separate these people into groups.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Let's see. Azaka, or not Azaka, Roshi, you got a 21?
Yeah. I mean, you can set it to 21.
No, no. This is Eddie.
Just give them, since wardens are in charge.
What did Castle get?
I rolled a 21 or a 20. Sorry.
I'm too busy yelling "attack the dinosaur" to actually attack the dinosaur.
As I'm like trying to shoot Azaka.
Warden's got a 19.
Yeah, maybe you should have told me that you had one of the natives in your group.
I didn't think it would mattered.
Well,
Yeah, he wouldn't have thought of that. You know,
mm-mm.
he doesn't really
19's
know.
lower than 20, Micah.
Leave me alone.
What the fuck?
clicked on the wrong space, okay?
It's okay.
Gosh. There. Roshia. Bitch.
Yeah, the dinosaur has like a spear sticking out of its side.
I thought you meant like it was carrying a spear. I was like,
Yeah,
stab someone.
it's going to throw its
Some
spear.
fucking crazy
It's gonna
bats.
pick it out of its side and throw it at you. No, it looks like it's already been injured, but it's still running. It's a fast creature, and it's on the heels of one of these two people, which are, they got spears. Well, one of them has a spear.
The dinosaur. Kill it.
Shoot the neighbor.
Did I do Azaka?
No.
She got a 15. If
Now
that's
you
my
told me.
actual, I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, 12.
What?
Right?
Oh,
Oh, there it is.
there we go.
Yeah, that's fine.
She got a 12?
15.
Oh, 15.
I was looking at my die instead, but that's something that was. The dino got a 12. We'll just go with that. Whew.
Alright. Roshia, you gay bitch.
Alright. Well,
What do your elven eyes see? Why are there 2 Talias?
Because there's 2 tribal warriors.
are they
Are they
within
twins?
90 feet of us?
No. Probably.
The dinosaur?
Well, these squares are 5 feet.
Yeah.
He's 35 feet away from me.
Alright, so I can reach it. I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark on the dinosaur and then attack it. My bow.
Okay.
First one's a 19 to hit.
That hits.
Yeah. So. Alright, so the 6 from the arrow and 3 Hunter's Mark.
What was that?
6 damage from the arrow and then 3 from Hunter's Mark for the first attack.
Alright.
And then my second attack is an 18 to hit.
Yes. That hits.
And then he horde breakers the innocent people.
Yeah, then he just fucking kills them all.
Alright, so let's see. 12 from the arrow and 5 from Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Yeah, you shoot the fuck out of it, and it goes down, and it just slides a little bit in the wet earth, and it's dead.
Oh, shit.
Well, that was easy.
That wasn't much of a fight.
Yeah, the people that were running, they stop, and they just kind of look at you all for a minute.
I'm gonna look
But-
back at Castle and
yeah,
say, hey, look at that. 2 missions completed in 1 day.
Yeah, Castle, go ahead and, what do you do? Let me stay in the order for a minute.
Well, his lifelong mission just ended. He was given a second one and ended before he even had a chance to move.
Yeah.
Uh,
Azaka is, she's standing up straight now. Still kind of...
I told you that she was with us. I did say that.
then it just I see the other ones, so I just
Yeah, you can see, clearly at least one person with a Wardens of Peace.
Do I know what the Wardens of Peace are?
Yes,
I
absolutely.
do.
You also
Okay.
see that it's a gnome person, wearing the symbol of a group that specifically hunts Warforged and gnomes that are harboring dangerous technology and research. You may not really understand that the books that are in your house are now basically useless, but they do have research in them. Diaries of important gnomish inventors of the age. What do you do?
Okay. Cool. I hulk over this fucking. I mean, I'm a juggernaut. I'm looking down at this gnome. Have my shield in front of me. For those of you who don't, I have a giant shield. It's almost like a kite shield, kind of.
Yeah.
It's like kind of in like the fashion of like a casket, like a old casket. Um, and I stamp it down in front of her, and just stare her in the face. Just go, identify. And I just ready in action.
Okay. This gnomish person, she just stares wide-eyed up at you, and then holds up like a. It probably looks a lot like a smartphone, but it's like a tablet made of. It looks like black glass, and she looks down at it, and there's gnomish letters glowing in the glass, and a little picture pops up that looks just like Castle, and it's got like then there's like a diagram pointing to various parts, and clearly on it is some other stuff you can't probably not really looking at in detail. And she's just looking from this tablet up to you. And
Can I? Is that roll intimidation or? I got it.
We're still in initiative order. Yeah.
You're still initiative.
Oh,
order,
that's right.
just
That's
for a
right. It's not my
moment,
turn anymore. I'm
there's so
ready.
many people. I needed some kind of order, but as she's looking from the tablet to Castle, the dark elf behind her, who's like, he's puffing away. He's in pretty bad shape. He's sweating, and he was limping as he was running, and he's kind of favoring one leg. And he just, we found it. We actually found it. We found a Warforged. And then the little gnome just kind of waves him, stop. Shh.
Found three.
I'm still just staring.
Yeah,
at
she and then she then looks beyond Castle over to Mana took off his mask, and Eddie is.
I don't know if he put it back on though.
Eddie is standing there staring them down, his eyes glowing blue, and his left hand on fire. He looks like a mage class.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just she looks to Mana, and then Eddie, who she probably looked at Eddie first after Castle, because Castle's this big hulking thing in front of her. She's kind of peering around. Why? This is not what I expected at all. But let's all talk, shall we? We ran into a bit of trouble with the local wildlife.
I continue to stare her in the face.
You do understand me, don't you?
Identify yourself.
Jennifer Fizzleboss, Mid-Warden of the Wardens of Peace.
So I
His
know
eyes
what
turn
those
black.
are. I know what those are.
Yeah.
So they're just like, I just know they're here to kill me then, right?
And
At
these are the
least take
people
it.
Mana told us about, right?
Yes. And yeah, after she says her thing, the dark elf, he's like, yes, can we just take a breather and talk?
No. Now, are you here to hurt anybody? By tighten my hand on my sword.
Well, we were on a mission.
Two.
The dark elf says, and then again, like the little gnome just kind of waves her hand at him. Shh, let me do the talking.
Answer.
Well, she holds up her tablet so you can see it. We were looking for you.
I like
But,
my battle visor drops down.
yeah.
It doesn't use it, it just drops down preemptively.
Yeah. I don't immediately attack if I don't have to. I've never met one of you before. I was hoping we could sit and have some tea, have a little chat.
Why do you have the tribals with you?
The
I point to her guides basically.
protection. It's, as you can see, the jungle is dangerous. Things that I'm not equipped to handle. Dinosaurs. And zombies and things. And there's that dreadful dead curse going around. I had more people, but they've been lost to disease and eaten in some cases. It's terrible. It's been a very rough time here.
As she's talking, I turn around, like I just sort of turn and look at Mana from behind my shield.
Yes, and I'd love to talk to him. Who is that? Who
Does
is
Mana
that?
make any sort of movement or gesture?
I'm staring the gnome in the face with my hand resting on the hilt of my sheathed dagger. Over my sending stone, I'm going to say swallows.
Okay.
But other than that, there's no reaction.
Yeah, I'm. For the purpose of all of this, speaking freely is fine. It's like a combat, but not quite. You can do actions and talk, but it's like a lengthened time for talking. But yeah, and I put everyone, all of the people on the same turn. But the warriors, there's the big half orc, and he's got a spear. Yes. Yeah, he's gripping his spear. He's got a shield that was on his back, and because he was difficult to carry it, and he takes it out, and he isn't attacking, but he's ready, and he starts to move up, but again, the gnome kind of just waves her hand at him to stay back, and others.
As soon as he moves, I dart my eyes right at him.
Yeah, he moves, but he doesn't. Like, he wanted to move in front of her, and she called him off.
You have strange nature, or strange ways. You have strange ways of showing your good nature. And I nod, not subtly at all, to the orc.
Protection. just in case.
I look pointedly at the dinosaur. You can say,
Yeah, from things like that.
sounds like your protection detail isn't up to snuff.
Well, there are more of them. These things travel in packs. This was the last straggler after
Apparently,
us.
so do you.
Well, it's better to have 2 mages instead of 1. Isn't that
Agreed.
how they did the same during the war?
You know nothing of the war.
I know enough.
I don't remember a lot.
But again, I would love to talk. If we all
We're talking.
put away our weapons?
Nope.
No. Alright.
I just.
Say what you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Who put 100% not a word of peace?
mm.
Yeah, she like reaches into her shirt and
I tense up.
yeah, she pulls out a little charm on a necklace, and it's a book crossed with a wand. It's a holy symbol of Azriva. I have many reasons for what I do.
Do I know what the fuck that is?
Yeah, it's Azriva is the like a patron deity of many gnomes.
Oh, that's
She's
right.
supposedly
I
the one
remember,
that
yeah.
bestowed the knowledge of how to create prophets.
The OG Warforged.
Yeah, before they were forged for war, when they were forged for peace and religious enlightenment and all that. I don't like being quite so close to the big guy. So if you'll excuse me.
Should have thought about that before you started hunting him down.
She
My eyes narrow.
yeah, as your eyes narrow at her, she disappears for a minute and ends up
What?
reappears over
She
here.
teleport?
Misty step.
Hmm.
I
I was gonna say I could see it.
To, as she does, or when she does that, actually no, that's probably not a smart idea.
Yeah, she does that. Misty steps a little back. This one, he's kind of rough looking. He moves back a little bit and just kind of backs up against like the corpse of the dinosaur, and then just kind of stumbles and stays there.
I'm
This
going
was-
to tell Eddie to stand down yet again. And then I'm going to walk up to the wardens. And I'm going to look directly at Jennifer.
Yeah.
And say, I think you know why we have our reservations, but I do agree with you that nothing will happen without conversation. At least nothing favorable. If you're willing to privately with me. No weapons, no tricks, no funny business. Then I'll hear you out. But I don't trust him, and I point at the dark elf.
Oh. Shit.
Damn.
To be honest,
He's just like, what?
to be honest,
Wow, bro.
I don't trust
Wow.
you. But it's only because you profess some semblance of wisdom that I'm willing to at least attempt to hear you out. But no, I don't have patience for traitors.
Traitor. Right, very well.
And with that, I'll nod. And I'll walk back to Roshia.
Yeah.
Still in the tree.
She's up in the tree.
I'll
got
walk
her
back to
feet.
Azaka.
Yeah. He's just like,
And
you know.
I will take the staff of flowers back from her, and I will hand her my returning dagger.
Ooh.
I will hand her my returning dagger, and my Ukawala staff, and my crossbow and crossbow bolts, and my other dagger, and my crowbar and my hammer. Yeah, and my robe.
Okay.
And I suppose my mask, just in case. But I still got the bag of holding in my gut. And then I'm going to is there a place, like a dry place outside that's not up in the cave, that I could set up like a private little fire plate, like a little fire to have a conversation with her?
I mean, you could grab the little portable fire pit.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, you can
Little
find a
what's
spot
what?
under a tree. It's
Okay.
still raining. Pretty good.
Yeah, I will get to the driest spot that I can, away from everybody else. And I will start making tea. And then I'm gonna sit on the ground
like
and just wait patiently.
Mana is just like a robotic, just a Keurig.
Yeah.
Just makes tea and coffee.
Yeah. Jennifer will go up to the dark elf first, and she leans in and whispers something to him. I don't know if Cass will be able to hear it. Cass will make a perception check.
Cool. All right.
Give me the unopened coke.
Oh man. Let me look at my sheet. Perception. That's a 22.
Oh. Yeah, you can just
Roll a 19.
You can just
Plus
barely make out her whispering to.
It sounds like something being poured in a glass out of a can.
Yeah. Yeah, he pours her a strong drink because she's gonna need it. No, she whispers to him like, alert headquarters, and then she starts to walk. She has a staff. She hasn't made any move to remove anything from her.
I just stare at her as she approaches.
Yeah, she. Walks
So I got what she said, right?
Yes, you heard. Her
Okay,
say
as soon as she said it, I yell loudly and turn around to Mana. I say, "Position compromised."
Yeah, because he was. Yeah, and that makes her like pause, and she just kind of looks at Castle like as if she's puzzled.
And I will stand back up and kind of sigh and look at her and say, "Don't forget,
Just like
I
really?
tried to do this peacefully." And then I'm going to cast Enlarge on Castle.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah!
All right.
I'm freaking out.
Make note of that because I think it's probably a good idea to stop here for now. 'Cause
Oh man,
Okay.
this could
I
be.
still have an action ready.
By the
damn
time
it.
we play, I'm gonna have moved, so there's no way that me writing down anything is gonna survive that.
Right.
Uh,
You can't make a note in your sheet.
Jeremy,
I'll
can
do
you
it.
make a note
Um,
somewhere?
Yeah, I'll do
I
it.
mean, you could make notes in your character sheets, but.
Oh, yeah, I could
Right
do that.
on
Huh?
the board too.
yeah,
Yeah,
I can
I'll
do that.
remember to.
Alright. I'll put it in the notes.
Yeah, we'll keep the same
Other-
initiative.
Okay.
Enlarged. I'll just put that. Save.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I'm about to fucking chop this orc in half.
Yeah, he's fucked, and some of them might be already low. Yeah.
And I just kind of assumed that he'd be willing,
Oh yeah.
but as soon as he heard the me start incanting in Gnomish, I'm guessing
probably
he
seen it
was
before.
ready for some shit.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that was a classic sort of maneuver on the battlefield during the war. Is
Yeah.
enlarging the juggernauts.
Yeah.
So
Oof.
he may have even recognized the incantation, depending on how well his memory is.
Possibly. It's hard to say. I don't know.
I honestly don't know.
But
I mean,
if
yeah.
if you've forgotten Jeremy, that's what enlarge does.
It makes me huge and I'm strong.
Yes, it makes you huge and stronger.
Yeah.
So double all dimensions. So I think he's 14 feet tall now or something like that.
Yeah.
Multiplied by 8 on weight. So he's like a couple thousand pounds.
Holy shit.
I'm a large, and is there something larger than large?
Yes, large and then huge and then I believe gargantuan is after.
Okay,
huge.
so if I have to push, pull, or as far as picking things up and stuff like that, with my feet, I technically consider huge then.
Well, let's
So
see.
I can just pick trees up.
Yeah, so you go from medium to large, and then so you can, you're huge for the purposes
So I'm able
of
to
picking and pulling.
I'm able to manipulate items like
Yeah.
a huge creature would.
You also take up a 10-foot by 10-foot area now instead of 5
I'll
foot
take a
by
what?
5 foot. You take up a 10-foot squared area instead of a 5-foot squared area now.
I'm assuming my reach is 10 feet now.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
I mean, it would make sense, but I don't know. I deal an extra
Tried to
D4,
do
which is
things
great.
Peacefully.
Which is great because I'm a brute, so I deal now. If I hit, I deal an
Yeah.
extra 2 D4 damage.
Nice. I like it.
I tried to do things peacefully.
So, I just stumbled upon a lot more than I thought I was going to.
You just see a sword come down through an orc as it guillotines this fucking man.
Whew. Yeah, that's that's where we're gonna leave off with probably a fight about to break out between a giant ass juggernaut and some mages.
A rogue mage class. His little essentially skirmisher pet project. So basically one of every Warforged type, almost. And then a couple of other, lesser characters that are fighting with us.
All right.
No.
Time.
That was a really good session.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Sad to have
it was
lost
fun.
track, but I had fun.
yeah, I.
I protect.
Yeah. Ooh.
Well,
I'm fucking huge.
I guess we'll end the recording there, guys.
Yeah.
Good session.
Mhm.
Thanks for
Great.
playing, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for
And next week, all new, live from Michigan. I'll be there because I'm moving, so that'll be fun.
And I'll be with them for a little bit too.
Yes. So next session, look forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.